Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy, my channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis updated commodities, work our way through the dollar, yields, precious metals, and commodities ETFs that I follow. I'll interject my financial opinions as we go through it together. And if you need help with anything, check out finding-value.com. That's over there in the special that we have that applies to both the monthly and yearly memberships. All right, let's dive in, take a look, see what's going on today. Starting with the DXY, again, I still think this could go higher. The past 2 days have been an absolute, I don't know what, it's like lots of volatility, lots of news, lots of crap going on. But the way that I view it, the way I'm going to call it right now, is that this is a potential double bottom falling wedge broken to the upside, and we are doing the retest right now. That's what it looks like to me, and that we could head higher. We did have a pretty substantial move, though, yesterday, signaling does this have follow through? So we're at support. There's the support line that we're at. That's a major trend line. If it doesn't hold, we could easily move a lot lower. If we move lower, that means that we could see that commodity bull market that we're looking for. Weaker dollar. Now, could we get a commodity bull market with the dollar going up? I mean, it's possible. It would be, loss of faith in the bond market, and the dollar. I find it hard that the dollar would go way up, even with loss. I mean, loss of faith, the dollar would go down. Then you could see interest rates go up. And then that would be a divergence between what we've seen in history with dollar up and yields up. But right now, this looks like it could go up in the short term here. The 2-year yield is heading a little bit lower here. Now, is this the shoulder that maybe it is? Maybe it isn't. Maybe we move on down lower with yields on the 2-year. We're also seeing weakness on the 10-year yield pulling back. But again, that's still on top of patterns. And then the 30 years down 0.86. But again, it's not breaking out of any structure. So the movements are contained within the structures or in the patterns, whatever you want to call them. And we haven't really broken through anything that is worth anything. So we just wait and see. We're at the wait and see approach right now. TLT bond prices are up. I said that this could potentially be an inverted flag pattern, but of course, right when I say that, we get a big bullish engulfing pattern today, and those generally resolve upwards. That's how it usually works out, right? You see the pattern, you identify it, and then all of a sudden, so I'm going to delete that. We'll just leave it hanging. This is a bullish candlestick to move higher in bond prices, yields going lower. And we'll see if that plays out that way. The 2 and the 10 were chopping sideways. We were down 0.03%, basically sideways. We've got TYX, TNX ratio basically sideways. It's not much to really talk about here in terms of movement. Gold's down $60 an ounce. Now that's kind of perplexing to me. We've got the DXY down 0.43%. Yields are down. The 2 and the 10 was flat, and we had gold down $60 an ounce. Interesting. But this had a bullish setup here. Surprised that it went lower here in the short term. Kind of an uptrend line break there. But we'll see what happens. Again, I'm not stating that this is just going to head lower. If the bears were killing it here, you would have finished this candlestick at its bottom, not put a little wick at the bottom, coming up off the bottom here like it just freshly reversed a downtrend line to the upside. So momentum's heading higher in the short term. And again, short-term stuff, I don't put a ton of weight on it, but that's what I'm seeing right now in this short-term little pattern here. Silver down 0.93%. Some people are on Twitter were saying, oh, silver looks bad. I don't see it. Where does it look bad? We've got a nice wick at the bottom. We're above $35 an ounce. This just looks like a normal retest move. I don't see what's bad with it. So yeah, that looks fine. Platinum's up 2.5% again. This is the one that I'm overweight. Silver, I like silver too, but silver and platinum are the two I really like. Uh, so that's looking good. We've broken out. Everything looks fantastic. Palladium's getting, I'm warming up to palladium very quickly here. I think we're going higher. Will it do as well as platinum? I don't know about that, but yeah, palladium looks good. It's rocking higher. It looks fantastic. It probably is a bottom. Now, if I were to make a guess, this bottom down here is like this bottom here. And we could chop sideways for a little bit before really taking off, while platinum does laps. That's what I think may occur. It may not work that way, but at least that's what I'm hoping. XE to gold ratio down 0.65%. Again, this is still well poised for a move higher with time. And again, look for a weaker dollar. If oil stays cheap and gold runs again, we could see the gold and silver mining companies really take off in relationship to gold. But everything is set up quite well for that to occur from a valuation perspective and from an asymmetry perspective. So GDX is down today. We had gold down, but I don't see the big follow-throughs here like this is topping and ready to turn over. I'm not saying that it can't do that, but I don't see the signals yet. GDXJ is down, but again, it got bought up. That's not exactly bearish, and I put that line in there to fill the gap. Maybe this is all we got. Maybe we put in some bullish candlesticks coming up. SILJ down 1.4%. Again, we closed the gap now. We'll see if we can get any upside momentum generating. Crude oil getting kicked in the nuts again today, down 5.3%. We're still above this support level, and I'll extend it out. I did not think we would get all the way back down here. But we'll see if that support holds. We have a lot of trading that occurred underneath us, which is good from a support perspective. We didn't break out and clear this top resistance trend line. Does that mean it's over with? No, it doesn't mean it's over with. It means in the short term here that we got slapped in the face a little bit, which is okay. I'm a long-term guy. I'll get slapped in the face a whole bunch as things go on and as news comes out and geopolitical events transpire. But we'll see if we can start to turn this thing around here. TTF gas also getting kicked in the nuts, down 13.4%. Obviously, I think there was some news that was released talking about a weaker oil or U.S. net gas fall 4% along with weaker oil. Something to do with weather-related stuff. But that was a big move too. And is that over with? Well, we'll see. We'll see if there's follow-through on it. A pretty ugly looking day today for TTF gas. Nat gas in America down 4%. Is this a potential shoulder head shoulder in the short term where we could come back down here? That is a possibility. If it does do that, then we get a nice spot to be acquiring natural gas prices. I'll remove the up arrow since we're getting some selling pressure the past 2 days. This could be also a inverted flag pattern that has developed, and we'll see if we kick out of it to the downside. Our boy XOP, yeah, you know me, with all that oil selling and natural gas selling, XOP and OIH didn't move anywhere. Why? Because I don't know if the markets believe the down move here or the up move for that matter. But what we want to see is if there's follow through to the downside and how strong that follow through is. This could be potentially a shoulder, head, shoulder that develops at an end of trend kind of bottoming pattern, which is definitely a possibility. So we kind of come here, do an end of trend move there before heading higher. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm watching for. Why do I think it's an end of trend move and not a brand new move lower? Well, we are very cheap. We're underneath the cost curve for some of the higher cost producers. We're seeing capital get cut back in offshore and even on onshore for US. So we'll see. We'll see if we get down to this range of 120-ish down here and do another kind of shoulder. OIH down 0.57%, but not a ton of follow through. It doesn't mean it can't come tomorrow, but we'll see what happens. Continue to monitor it. And again, I'm not doing anything different. I'm still going where the value is, which is here. We've got Newcastle coal futures down with obviously TTF gas and nat gas in America were down 2.228. We've broken out of this kind of bottom shoulder head shoulder deal, trying to work our way on up and getting a little bit of selling pressure. Sprott Physical Uranium Trust down 1.32% today. Is this a reversal candlestick? We could consolidate. You know, it's tough when you see a candlestick like a bearish engulfing here because you just broke out of this pattern. So do I put a ton of weight on it? Not really. I just wait and I see and I kind of hold my breath, or not hold my breath, but I just watch it. And I was like, okay, we'll take the upward arrow, which I still think we're going higher longer term. And we'll see if there's any follow through. And if the follow through is weak, then we create a pattern, which is a consolidation pattern that goes sideways. And then eventually work our way on up. That's my guess of what's going to occur. Uranium futures pricing up about 1%. Still looks good to go higher. We've got URA up 3%. So the equities are still getting money flows into it, irrespective of the Sprott Physical Uranium Trust, which is really bullish. But this is broken out. This thing could rip. I mean, it could rip. It could be a rip-roaring, real good time in the uranium equities here. We've got Uranium up 1%, and we're sitting on top of the support trend line, which is good. It was resistance coming through. We popped out above it. We've been consolidating sideways, and maybe it closes this gap. Maybe it doesn't. I'm not in the camp that everything has to just close gaps and has to backtest every single time. In strong markets, sometimes it breaks and it rips. So I'm already positioned. In URNJ, we're underneath resistance, a little bit behind URNM, which the juniors generally are. But when they get moving, man, do they run. Man, do they run. So URNJ looks good. It's just underneath resistance. Nickel down 0.5%. That still hasn't generated any upside momentum. It's just slow leaking of sellers off. We've got copper up 0.93%. I think this could be an explosive situation any time now. We could see a break higher here with copper. And we're just kind of right underneath big breakout area. It's working. It's working out. COPX is still getting some money flows into the ETF. We're sitting on top of the pattern. We broke out, did a little retest, and we are heading higher. It looks good. Up 1.4%. We're sitting on top of that support. Lithium up 3.86. I redrew this line here real quick, put it on top, and this looks really good for a potential break here. We're right on top of the line, and we'll see if we can punch through and get a big run out of lithium. I'm pretty bullish on lithium here. It looks really good. REMX also looking really good. We've got a first trend line break. I like how this is setting up. And we're starting to get some big buying pressure with small selling pressure on the right-hand side. This looks really good. Positive development occurring in the rare earth and strategic metals ETF. I grabbed this fractal. This is the last pullback bottom here. It looks very similar to, to this pullback, like right there. So I think something like that could occur. And that bottom would be a shoulder, a head, and then another shoulder that develops. So that would be my best guess. And it's done this multiple times. very similar moves. This one was just an expanded move. If I can expand it outward. So this is just a bigger kind of expanded move there that occurred. But yeah, this looks good, and it looks like it's trying to break out here. That looks fantastic. Iron ore, another one that's still, it was sideways today, but still squeezing up. Still squeezing up. Aluminum down 0.85%. And again, this has just been chopping all over the place. This is not a inverted flag pattern, but it could break higher. I mean, this chart, it's kind of all over the place. There's no real structure to it, like some of the other ones. We're kind of meandering. Ever since we didn't break out here, we've been kind of meandering around. We haven't broken the big, strong resistance line yet. But we could. And the reason I say we could, with time, is it's a base metal and copper looks really good. Copper looks like it wants to break higher. So I'm gaining signals from other metals to form an opinion on aluminum. It's not all supply and demand and only supply and demand. A lot of it is economic growth, which is the demand side, and dollar weakness that people need to also look at and take into account. Baltic Dry Index slightly lower. It's right at that resistance, but we've broken a larger, bigger picture view, kind of a three-hump consolidation there that's breaking out. So that looks pretty good for a move higher. This is just a back test that we're doing in the short term. Emerging markets starting to really take off. Up 2.6%. I think we could see a big move in emerging markets. I'm still in that camp. This thing looks ready to go. We're starting to release from a little bit of resistance. Weaker dollar, stronger emerging markets. Move up slightly. But again, I think we're going up. Breakout, retest. In a falling wedge too. So that looks good to go higher. Doesn't really matter what happens in this circle there. It could go all over the place. But I think eventually it will resolve upward. KRE up 0.95%. I had that shoulder, head, shoulder. Shoulder, head, shoulder. There it is. And we could potentially be breaking higher. We were up 0.95% today. XHB doing something very similar. Up about 1%. We'll see if we can get some traction there. Russell 2000 up 1.34. We've got the S&P up 1.11. We've got the NASDAQ up 1.43, and those all look good. I didn't see any signals that there was any reversals or anything like that. So it's playing out as the chart suggests. We've got SMCI up 4.77. That still looks good to go higher with time here. We've been chopping around all through this section here. We've got NVIDIA up 2.6%. I left the upward arrows up there, irrespective of this rising wedge. When I was younger, I would look at this and be like, oh, this is going to break lower. It's like, well, what is the surrounding companies that NVIDIA, like the NASDAQ, are doing? And the NASDAQ looks good to go higher. That's a flag pattern. So I would look at NVIDIA and say, no, this could still go higher. Because if the overall index or sector looks good, the possibility of the trend continuing before it is a high likelihood. Bitcoin's up 1.83 right at resistance. We'll see if we can break higher. And if the NASDAQ's going higher, Bitcoin generally follows it. Ethereum up 1.14, back within the channel. And again, we'll see if this continues higher with NASDAQ and Bitcoin. MicroStrategy's up 2.68%. I don't see a ton of strength here. What's going on? I don't see the strength, at least not yet. We've got the VIX down 11.76%. This is crazy. If you were to ask me, Andy, do you think something's going on in the markets here? I'd say, yeah, something's going on. We had the VIX break into the upside here. And then all of a sudden, it's down 11.76%. We have rising wedges on some of these, like NVIDIA. The NASDAQ not a strong looking chart, to be honest. We can throw a trend line, through here. Um, so call that a trend line and call this a trend line coming on up. And then we break to the downside. This could be a return move upward that eventually rolls over. That is a possibility. So short term, yeah, it's okay, but man, kind of crazy stuff going on here in the short term. Volatility goes way down, but oil's down massively in 2 days. It's interesting. We've got the Canadian US dollar. We'll just touch on this real quick. That looks like it's trying to break out. And that's what happened last commodity bull market. Huge breakout there. And I think this is just going to be a repeat. It's my take. The African rand priced in dollars, that looks like it's trying to break to the upside. Brazilian real falling wedge into a double bottom. That looks good to go higher. Australian dollar trying to break out at the kind of corner of this wedge. Last bull market was here. Then we've got the British pound that's already broken to the upside. This is the last bull market there. And I think something like that could occur again. We're sitting on top of the pattern already. So that's what I've got for today, guys. Give me a thumb up for the content. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the website if you'd like. Special is the coupon code. And that's all I've got for today. So we'll catch you next time. This is Finding Value.